Hello, this is the Gaming Gentleman, and here bringing you a gamers talk with myself, C-noteGaming, and Kozluk. Now, before we start, I'm just going to give a big shout out to the Wii Game here, a member of the official Wii Game here, and we've been doing a lot of effort surrounding the website for the official Wii Game here, and there's so many great articles on there, and I pledge everyone to sign up and register with the official Wii Game here. And so our first guest, I'm very excited about this because he has an amazing channel, and he is a upcoming YouTuber, and he has some great vids already, and that is of course Kozluk Gaming. You want to introduce yourself, mate?
Yeah, thank you for letting me onto your channel, and nice words about my channel there. Thank you.
Right, C-note, you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah. Hey guys, it's your boy C-note. Thank you for stopping by. Hope we have a great little talk, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things that are in the gaming news, and a lot about Witcher 3. So I hope you're excited about that.
Yeah, right. So I think last podcast we just talked about our choices in The Witcher 3, and we had so many different choices, but I think we've got sort of an expert of The Witcher 3, if I say so myself, which is Kozluk.
Well, I haven't got that far, but yeah, thank you.
You know, I've seen your videos, and you did sort of a countdown to The Witcher 3, and you did it in a way. It was like the 12 days of Christmas, but the 12 days of Witcher, and
yeah.
it was so funny. Do you want to explain why were you excited about The Witcher 3?
Well, I just like my RPGs, and I was saying earlier to you guys, I played Dragon Age. I mean, BioWare are like my favourite developers, but I was disappointed with Dragon Age, and I was just looking for something else to play, just to fulfil that RPG element on like a next-gen console. And The Witcher was it, you know. And then I was looking into it a bit more. Yeah, I knew about the game previously, of course, but looked into it a bit more. Then I saw the statue and everything, and I thought I wanted the collector's edition, and I thought it'd be a good topic for a video. And then I thought, well, it'd be a good topic for like a countdown as well. So that's why I did that. And yeah, and obviously I did know a bit about the games and such, reading some books, not all. I never finished any of the books either, but so I did know a bit about the Witcher world, and yeah, I tried to incorporate some of the items that you might find in The Witcher within the videos. So yeah.
Did you ever play The Witcher 1 or Witcher 2?
No, that's I was saying to you earlier. I knew about the games,
Yeah.
and I've read some of the books, but I never actually physically played 1 or 2. No.
Yeah. So let's talk about excitement. When I first saw The Witcher, you know, I think it was E3. Was it 2 years ago? Or maybe 1 year ago, but when I saw that trailer for E3, I was absolutely blown away, because apparently they could deliver that onto consoles. And you know, an RPG for me, I've been looking so many since Skyrim, because I was a big fan of Elder Scrolls, and Elder Scrolls Skyrim was phenomenal. Every gamer can really tell you how phenomenal that game is. And my first reaction to The Witcher 3 was like, my dreams are coming true. I mean, I cannot wait for that when it comes to consoles, and I am still blown away by The Witcher. And you know, what do you think when you saw that trailer, C-note? You see the E3 trailer?
Yes, whenever I saw that trailer, to be honest with you, because everybody knows I'm a first-person shooter, that's what I mainly stick to. I'm really good at it, but whenever I saw it, it was one of those things. It reminded me a lot of Skyrim, and I didn't want to get my hopes up. I did not want to get my hopes up, because every time E3 comes up, they show this amazing game, and then whenever you get the game, it just kind of fizzles out, and it's not the greatest thing that you were expecting. But I'm so glad I was wrong on that.
I think everyone was kind of wrong on that. I mean, people were thinking, oh, this is not going to live up to its expectations and what it was going to deliver, and it totally did in one of the best ways possible. Like Like, for example, a game that did not do that was Watch Dogs. We saw the E3 trailer, and that build up so much hype for this game. Is like, this is the next GTA, but with hacking, and it was just so amazing. And then when it finally launched, I don't know if we've played Watch Dogs. Have you played Watch Dogs?
I played it briefly. I lasted about an hour, and I was just bored playing it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was basically, yeah. C-note.
yeah.
I played it, beat the game, played the multiplayer. I actually, I'm one of the few people that actually liked the campaign, absolutely loved it. But whenever it came to the multiplayer, it was so buggy and so just it was hard. The hit markers were off and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think mine was the opposite. I absolutely hated the campaign. I thought it was just not needed. The concept of Watch Dogs was far one of the best concepts. I mean, there's this guy who could hack basically the entire city with the bridges, and I thought that was really good. I thought could be the next GTA, because GTA 5 remaster hadn't been announced, and we didn't think that was going to come. So Watch Dogs was the game to be, but it kind of disappointed me with the campaign and the graphics, and but I did actually quite like the multiplayer. I thought it was something new, something fresh. I liked the fact that you could play the single player, and then someone can invade you, and you wouldn't have a clue who they are. I really liked that concept, but it did sort of fall flat. And to be honest, I know that a Watch Dogs 2 is coming, announced at E3. It's inevitable there is. What do you think about Watch Dogs 2?
You go ahead, Kaz. I'll put my 2 cents in a second.
Well, let's say, I mean, I only played Watch Dogs for a few hours, but I agree with Crispy about the like a multiplayer being able to invade on the single player, because when that first happened to me, I was thinking, this is smart for an NPC, and then I realised it was actually somebody who's come into my world. But yeah. But as for Watch Dogs 2, I think it probably isn't, because it got a lot of hate when it first released, but I do think there's like a core following behind Watch Dogs. People will like just defend it to the teeth, and I think it'll just be released for that reason, because there is a fan base there for it.
Yeah, the whole point of going on to Watch Dogs was recently, I don't know if you're aware of this, but apparently there was this graphical downgrade, because it was seen in the Watch Dogs with the console version. To be honest, I think the Witcher graphics are really impressive, the best foliage I've ever seen in a game. But have you seen these articles about graphical downgrades from the E3 trailer, and do you even care about the graphical downgrade?
I know of the graphical downgrades. It's been all over like the internet, and so everyone's been talking about it. But Watch Dogs was never really a game I was really hyped up for in the first place, so I never really followed it that much. I mean, I got it. Like I say, I played it, but it bored me, so it was just a case of. I'll probably go back to it as well, but it's just a case of. I don't know really. It's just a case of. I weren't expecting much, and I didn't really know about it. From what it looks like at E3. So yeah, it just seemed alright to me, but just a bit boring campaign.
Yeah, and also, about the Witcher 3 foliage. I think it's the most amount of foliage I've ever seen in a game. I was so shocked about. I was thinking that because the PC version was shown off, and I thought, and they didn't even see any Xbox or console footage for at least about 5 months after they showed the PC footage, and I was kind of concerned about, is it going to look great as the PC version, or is it going to be near to the PC version? I thought that the trees weren't going to be there. I thought there is no way in gaming history you could deliver so many foliage into a game, and I was totally blown away how wrong I was. So much so that people are now saying that there's more foliage, more trees in The Witcher 3 than the farming simulator.
That's crazy. But see, I'm impressed with the foliage. I mean, not only them just being like trees there, but actually moving, breathing, living trees, moving with the wind and the shadows that they create, and moving with the trees. It's quite remarkable.
I think C-note's having a bit of trouble there, but I think the time zone's a bit annoying because being the US and the UK.
Yeah, quite a large time zone there.
Right.
Okay, guys, sorry, I'm back. My daughter woke up, so.
It's fine, C-note. It's fine. So we were basically talking about the graphical downgrade. Are you aware of the graphical downgrade of The Witcher 3?
Yes, and I heard the conversation that you two were having, and for me, it really didn't bother me it didn't bother me as much as a lot of other people, only because it was a great game. It was beautiful, it played well, and if it's a little bit downgraded, it didn't bother me.
Yeah. Right. So our next thing is really about what do we think about the Witcher 3 mechanics of the game?
Okay. I think they've handled it quite well. I mean, I've noticed some of my signs don't register on targets when I'm casting them, but I think that's a percentage thing anyway. I don't think every sign is meant to register. And then the parrying as well seems a bit hit and miss. I'll parry in plenty of time and it'll still get a hit on me, but things like that. So combat has some issues and could probably be fixed, but overall I think the mechanics, being able to dodge and such, and hit detections are always there. Sometimes I have noticed that when I am attacking like monsters and such, I'll get the score that I've hit them, but I'll not get the noise. I don't know if you've noticed that. I'll not. Yeah.
Or to be, the mechanics in The Witcher 3, I think, are. When I first loaded up the game, I thought it was really clunky, and I thought, oh, I'm really going to have to get to grips with this mechanics. I thought it was a little bit clunky to start off with, but when you've put so much hours into The Witcher 3, you completely forget, and you're now at a point when you get to these certain level, and you could upgrade these abilities, and you feel really smooth, and it's quite fluid when you get to the high levels where you can chain these combo attacks, and I feel like it's really quite fluid, especially because I've played The Witcher 2. And The Witcher 2 was really, oh my god, those mechanics, they're terrible. But The Witcher 3 is quite smooth, quite fluid. What level are you on The Witcher?
Myself, I've got multiple game saves. I'm trying to experience as much as I can out of the game. So I've got about 4 or 5 actual game saves, but I think my highest is probably 10. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but I have been putting a lot of hours into it, and I've been doing every side quest possible. So, yeah.
Well, mine is a level 16, but I've been doing a few side quests, but mostly focusing on the story, because sometimes, I get engaged with the story so much that I want to know the next story mission, and then I get to that one, and then I want to do the next one, and it's just a continuous cycle.
I guess you kind of slowed down a little bit, Crispy. I'm level 22.
You're not level 22, see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But that's not even possible, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Hang on. You're level 22.
Yeah. Dude, doing those side missions, especially the witch hunts, or Witcher contracts or whatever, they give you a lot of experience for doing those.
So you're level 22, and you'll be less in the story than I am. Well, right, you've heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. You don't have to do the story to get high levels. You can just do the quests alone.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing about RPGs, isn't it? They expect you to level up for the next missions, and that's just what I've been doing. I've been trying to level up as much as I can before I actually start on the main campaign. That's what I've been trying to do. Yeah.
What? let's talk a little bit about the leveling system. When I you see these high-end monsters and the tutorial world sets you up, and then you can't progress. Well, you can progress, but you need to be this certain level, about level 5 or whatever, to progress. But you actually don't, because you can do it if you want to, but it's got to be more challenging if you go against, say, a level 9 monster or a level 10 environment. It's got to be really tough and challenging. So then you do these quests and story missions so that you're prepared to fight these monsters. What do you think about the leveling system in The Witcher?
I like it. I mean, I'd say it could be fighting level 4 or 5 bandits, and just around the corner you've got a monster that's got a skull across, skull on the top of it, saying it's too high a level, and one hit from it will kill you. It's quite remarkable in the fact that you can just turn around the corner and you're completely out your depth, and you need to just play. You know, it's kind of realistic in that sense. You know, you can't just go out into the wilderness and slay everything. You've got to think about it and remember where things are, and yeah, it's quite good. Yeah.
You know what? You know what I like about it? The whole thing about the whole leveling system and stuff is that you can go into a town. Just the first town that you go into, you can go onto the billboard, and you can look at the things, and you can have a level 3 mission, a level 5 mission, and a level 33 mission.
Yeah.
The mixture is so great. You can't just go to one town to the next, to the next, to the next. No one's experience is going to be the same because people are going to go to different towns. They're going to find different people on the road. There's going to be all kinds of different ways that you can come about this game, get your levels, and all that good stuff. And that's what I like about it.
So, I mean, so we've been doing all these side missions, but I probably could guarantee that despite us doing all these side missions and spending so much hours into them, there's probably half the side missions I've done, C-note's probably not done, and probably vice versa, even though we have been caning these side missions.
Yeah. Well, sometimes like you're accidentally, say if you're walking and you accidentally discover like this tribe of people, which I've actually done. I've just discovered this tribe, and without accepting the quest, I'm already doing the quest because it launches automatically.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but sorry if I spoil this for anybody, but there's a mission that I ran up on last night, and there was this huge cyclops laying on the ground, picking his teeth with a human bone, and I had to sit there and stare at that cyclops because it was just one of those iconic things that you think of a cyclops doing, is sitting there picking his teeth with a human bone. And after I got in the fight with him and killed him, I started a mission without even knowing about starting the mission. So I definitely know how you feel, Crispy.
Yeah, I think that is what makes like one of the best RPGs, and I think I don't know when we're gonna do. I think we're all three of us may do a review at some point when we finished it, but I don't think myself finishing it like maybe 4 weeks time I'll finish it, but it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. I mean, obviously, time permitting as well, because obviously I can't be like 24/7. Most people can't. So it's going to take at least a couple of months to actually complete it fully. You want to do everything that's in the game.
Yeah. So for saying that, how long would you say you would be finishing this game?
Well, I say I've been doing that every little. I don't know how long it'll last because I might get bored of it. But I've been doing every little side mission. Ones that are only going to give me like 10 XP and 20 XP. I've been doing all them. So that because I want to try and make it last. But I reckon I'll probably have it finished completely. And by completely, I mean like the majority of side quests, even the small ones. In hope about a month and a half, maybe. Hopefully.
What do you think?
I'm sorry. Sorry. Ask that question again. My daughter was trying to give me the letter of the day.
We're basically saying because there's so much in The Witcher 3. How long do you think you'll take to complete it all?
That's a funny question. That will take me at least 2 weeks, just because I go between a lot of different games.
Wow. Right. So let's. Uh, right. So let's talk about the RPG. Oh my God.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna mute my mic for just 2 seconds.
It's all right, Stephen. Oh man, doing that makes me lose my train of thought. Right. So this is amazing RPG, and I think any other RPG, whether it be Red Dead Redemption 2, maybe another Elder Scrolls, or any other RPG after this one, has a lot to live up to. Do we think that The Witcher 3 puts so much high standards? Do you think this is the RPG for decades to come, or for developers to look up to?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is certainly the most impressive RPG on a new gen console. I mean, this is The Witcher 3 is the Skyrim of the last gen. I mean, obviously Skyrim was a huge open world for there. People were really raised about the graphics. All I'm hearing now about The Witcher 3 is just similar. The Witcher 3 is basically Skyrim on a new gen console, and I can't see many games being able to surpass it, especially so soon.
Yeah.
I think we're going to at least be about another 3 or 4 years until we see something that could actually compare to The Witcher. I hope I'm
Yeah.
wrong, because obviously I want better games, but I can't see it. Yeah.
Like apparently Rockstar are working on this. Excuse me, Red Dead Redemption 2, and they've got quite a lot to live up to if they're going to compete with the already amazing The Witcher 3. But what we also got to remember is The Witcher 3 had a 5-year development cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they had people developing the games just solely on the buildings. I don't know if you noticed, but every little building, there would be like a hut or like somebody's house.
Yes.
It's all completely different. There's no copy and paste. They've actually had individual people designing every individual building. It's really crazy in that respect.
I know it's like I think Novigrad is the main city of The Witcher 3, and like you said, every single part of Novigrad is so detailed. And other games I have noticed, like Watch Dogs, have just copied and pasted buildings and then like just put it in certain places like we wouldn't notice, but you do actually notice. And The Witcher 3, I've not come across any sort of copied and pasting, even if it's just a small hut, right, in the middle of the forest. That hut has a story within. If you go inside to see like some paintings on the wall, some different books, a chairs, table, maybe someone had a meal there and left the hut. And it's just these amazing stories that come with every house. Like people say that their house is their home, and it's a total living and breathing environment where people actually go out to work and they come back and they rest at the taverns and they live the life in The Witcher 3.
That's it. You're passing through you're passing through towns, and you just see everybody just going about the business, whether they're fishing or milking goats, whatever, or like harvesting the land. As you're passing, I say it's a living environment, and I've not really seen that before, really, in games. Where you actually see them doing the job that they're meant to be doing.
Yeah, because one day I decided that I was going to actually go and look. Sorry if I interrupted anyone, but I actually went and decided I was going to sit there and I was just going to sit there and watch the day progress and what these people do in the town, because I was kind of excited and wanted to see if there was any copy and paste movement. I did that just to see, and I watched these three characters walk around town doing their chores that they would normally do, and they would do something different on a daily basis. Like, they would change up their routine. It's not the same movements. It's not the same actions. But they do eventually end up in the same spot.
Yeah, well, like Watch Dogs. I hate going back to that game, but I'm telling you, I keep going back to it because I felt like I played 100% of that game, and the pedestrians in Watch Dogs just go around the block every five times, right? and then they'll disappear. And it's just like, man, haven't you got something better to do than go past this block about 5 times? And it's just like that, The Witcher 3, how each person is like different coding and whatever, how they do it is beyond me. But how they manage to get these people to do different chores and different jobs, it is what I think what RPG should really focus on, about a living and breathing world. And to be honest, they have created this so perfectly. It's not as if it is a living and breathing world, and it's just incredible.
Yes, I mean they've set a new standard, haven't they? You know, as RPGs go, CD Projekt Red have just to put it down to its simplest. They've set the standard now, and it's just up for other games to try and match it and better it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, go on then, Tina.
They people are always surprised whenever delays come out and stuff like that, and people are always ready to say, hey, we've got this new game, we're excited for this new game, I want y'all to see it. But for me, I'd rather them not show us. Like one of my biggest disappointments right now, even though I want them to have a done game, one of my biggest disappointments of this year was that Tom Clancy's The Division is not coming out until next year. And that really broke my heart, because that was one of those games that I was super excited for.
Same.
But I think if before they release that they are going to have a game, do it a year in advance. But make sure that you have that date secured, that there is no way you can miss that mark. Yeah. And that's just my opinion, because you're gonna lose a lot of people and a lot of sales if you keep delaying your game. People just aren't going to be interested in it as much as they would have.
No, because the hype is sort of forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I feel like on delays is like The Division. I was supremely excited. Are you excited about The Division, Kozluk?
It's a game I've seen, and I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not really that excited for. But I'll get it and I'll play it, but it's not really something that's really grabbed my attention.
Well, it caught my attention for one reason, and that was the detail in The Division. There was these paint cans that you knocked over, and actual paint flew out of them. Right, paint actually flew out the cans, and I was like, "You have to."
Sorry, you didn't catch that. Sorry.
Right. The Division catches my attention because there's this one moment you can see in the trailer where someone shoots like a can of paint, and the paint splatters, and it's just these detail. I mean, like, why would you put paint in an actual paint can? And it was all over the internet about how detailed The Division is going to be, and it looked fantastic. I don't know if you've seen the trailers. You seen the trailers?
No, I've not seen the trailers.
Oh man,
it's really it's really breaking up. But I say I've not seen the trailers, but I have seen bits, and it does look really detailed. But that's it. I've not really watched the trailers or know much about the game to comment, if I'm honest.
Well, it's just that it was absolutely amazing, and I was really excited when it was going to release. I think it was June this year, but they delayed it again, and we were just like, oh, they delayed it. I think it was about 3 times they've delayed it now, and I think for that hype of the game, people are forgetting about The Division. People are focusing on the other games that is going to be announced at E3 and completely forgetting The Division. So when the November season comes, people will get other games instead of The Division, because all their time making that hype this game has just been lost.
You're really breaking up. I mean, I agree that if the game's been delayed, people are obviously waiting for this game. And to keep delaying it, people are going to start losing interest. As you say, other games start coming out, and they'll buy that game, and they'll forget about The Division, for example. Yeah. But I didn't really catch most of what you said there, though. It's really breaking up.
Oh, what is it? Is it the microphone?
It might just be my connection, if I'm honest, but
Oh man.
I was about to say, I'm hearing you pretty clear, Crispy.
Oh. Oh.
But while we're talking about that, there's been a little bit of news that has been pretty interesting to me. Call of Duty has got something that's going on. I know you're not a big fan of it, Cause, but there's been some rumors going around about Call of Duty and PlayStation. Go ahead, Crispy, and tell the news on that. I'm a little
Yeah.
distracted at the moment.
Right. So, as you know, or if you don't know, so Call of Duty, it has been on Xbox exclusive for quite a long time. I mean, DLC comes for Call of Duty DLC comes first on the Xbox One, and that has been going for years to come. But suddenly they changed, and apparently PlayStation has the exclusive rights for DLC on Call of Duty.
One second, sorry.
Sorry.
yeah,
Did
I
you hear
mean
that?
that's unprecedented because obviously for the last 3 years it's always been the Xbox. But I thought I read somewhere I thought that Xbox still had it for another year, the exclusive that the time exclusives for the DLC and stuff. Has that been changed now? PlayStation
Yeah.
got the exclusivity.
Well, there was a recent article like on Mountain Dew, one of the drinks companies. They've always been towards the Xbox for announcing. I think Call of Duty has a partnership with some drink companies, and they're putting sort of exclusive to PlayStation labels on the drinks, which really means that I think it may be true, and we're going to see an announcement further on that the exclusiveness has gone to PlayStation, and it's quite a surprise for a lot of gamers, a lot of COD gamers, because Xbox One has been used because it's probably got one of the best, well, the Xbox Live service. A lot of pro Call of Duty players on the Xbox because it's just an amazing service. They've got Xbox One has a massive focus on esports, uh, and it is really great for competitive play, and yet they're completely changing it around for PlayStation, and it just doesn't really make sense.
Well, it might be the fact that, rightly or wrongly, a lot of people have gone over to PlayStation this time, haven't they? And you know, Call of Duty and like the MLG circuits are probably looking at that and thinking about their fan bases and saying, well, the majority of our fan base is on PlayStation. Maybe we should try and shift our emphasis over to PlayStation. I don't know, just a theory. I don't know.
What I think, and what gives it maybe it is a money thing, and also because PlayStation seem to throw their cash at whatever thing they can find, really, because so many things are like exclusive on PlayStation, and you think, well, it really isn't because it's coming to Xbox, but you're throwing the exclusiveness to a lot of games. Batman Arkham Knight has got a PlayStation exclusive. I think Star Wars Battlefront has a PlayStation exclusive, and now you're taking Call of Duty as a PlayStation exclusive, which is just really weird because those are some impressive games and so much hype for those games. But to be honest, it's not about console wars or any of that. And if it does turn out to be on PlayStation, I don't think that will affect me or many other COD players because we're still going to get Black Ops 3 either way, and there's still going to be this amazing community on Xbox. It's just the fact why this sudden change to PlayStation. Was it because of money? One of the reasons many people are thinking that they changed to PlayStation was the fact that they didn't want COD competing with, of course, Halo 5.
Well, yeah, I mean they're falling around the same time, aren't they? This time this year, and with Xbox, I mean, as first-person shooters go, Halo is Xbox's baby, isn't it? You know, it's what they first launched the original Xbox with is Halo. It's their baby, and they put a lot of emphasis in that. So maybe they have taken a decision in in the boardroom that they want to emphasise everything on Halo, and Call of Duty comes second, and then that's allowed PlayStation to sneak in, maybe.
Yeah, it's just I find it so surprising, and it's just this thing that it says exclusive on PlayStation. I don't know if you have you got the game Destiny.
Yeah. They've got the exclusive content
Yeah,
on some of the raids, haven't they, as well?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not just that; it's the advertising as well. See, PlayStation has this thing where they advertise it as if they're the only console that has the game. I mean, like Destiny, for example, when I watched that especially in the UK, on the TV, it was just only on PlayStation, and you're thinking, what? I swear Destiny comes out on the Xbox, but they were meaning the DLC, but it looked from the advertisements they said that the game was just on PlayStation, and many people that I know just thought it was on PlayStation because of the advertising PlayStation does. I mean, what do you think about the advertising?
Well, I mean, it's all corporate spin, isn't it? They'll try everything in their power to make you buy the game for their console.
Yeah,
But it's not only PlayStation that do it. I mean, if you remember last E3, if it being up Tomb Raider, it was announced on the Microsoft's press conference, and at the time Phil Spencer was saying exclusive, exclusive, exclusive. It only came out apparent like a couple of weeks later that it was only a time exclusive. But
yeah.
Microsoft just do the same. It's just a case of
Yeah, you're absolutely right on there.
mm,
And to be honest, exclusive the word exclusive, I think Phil Spencer knows that maybe they shouldn't have called it an exclusive because they should have called it timed exclusive rather than exclusive. And there was this big hoo-ha about actually it is an exclusive and not a timed exclusive, and all of this hoo-ha which turned out to be false. And there's going to be a lot of exclusives, proper exclusive, at this E3. But I think the term exclusive should be properly shown because I think I trust my words that there's going to be so much exclusives from Xbox side and PlayStation side. Maybe they don't have much exclusives, but they'll pretend they have exclusives.
I'm sorry, I just didn't catch that last part.
I
Sorry.
mean, I
Yeah.
mean, like the Xbox are going to announce some really great exclusives at E3. If you may have heard, proper exclusives,
Yeah.
and maybe and sometimes think that even if they're multi-platform, each console will pretend that it's exclusive to their platform.
Well, they would. There's always like no matter what game it is, there always seems to be like a lead console, a console that the developers have specifically made the game for that console, and like they've kind of reported it, or just had to tweak something else to fit it onto like another console to make it run better.
Yeah,
For example, let me think. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, The Witch is a good example. They've tried to fit in 60p the frames per second on 1080p, and then they've downgraded it. They've downgraded the 1080p for the Xbox version. They're trying to fit in as best they can for the lead console. I believe the Xbox was the lead console, and that's why it had the higher frame rates, and they
yeah,
tried to scale it to the 1080p is it, or something? I can't
yeah.
remember.
In fact, that is perfect because at GTA 5, PlayStation had the leading console for GTA 5, and it turned out there was more foliage on the PlayStation version than there was the Xbox version. This goes throughout the same of many games that were built on the PlayStation platform, or not built on the PlayStation platform, like that looked as if what's the word? Like associated with PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. I mean, and the thing, in PlayStation, they will always have. I mean, I'm an Xbox gamer. I have a PlayStation 4. I'm mainly an Xbox gamer, but the PlayStation will always have that head start on Microsoft because Sony were making the game consoles. A few years before Microsoft, and they've had that first step to the door. When they're going over to like developers like Square Enix and stuff like that, they will always favour PlayStation unless money's involved. Equal amount of money you spend. they'll always favour
Yeah.
PlayStation just because they've had that association with them for much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and in our podcast and we've been talking about this is about the fact that developers are building first on the PlayStation because of the hardware, because it's easy for them to get their games onto PlayStation, and so when they show the trailers of first ever gameplay footage, it's always running on the PlayStation for some reason. And the fact is that it's running on the PlayStation because it's easier to get your game running on the PlayStation than it is on the Xbox One. That is a fact currently at the moment. But I think, because I don't know if are you aware of the DirectX 12 and that situation?
Yeah, I've heard of obviously Direct 12 coming onto the Xbox. I think from what I've read and looked into it, I mean, I'm not the most technical guy in the world, but from what I've looked into it, it's probably going to favour PC more than it is Xbox. I mean, it'll be a big. It'll improve the Xbox to some degree, but I think it's mainly going to improve like the PC side of things.
Yeah.
In gaming, I think.
Yeah, what I think about the DirectX 12 session is just the fact, maybe don't get your hopes up. I mean, the DirectX 12 is going to be implemented onto PC and console, but PC are really going to see the benefits of DirectX 12. But Xbox will also see benefits as well. And I read somewhere where like 1080p can be so achieved if the developers use DirectX 12. And that was that article was done by Brad Rodell, one of the people working on DirectX 12.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, anything, no matter how small, if it improves our experiences playing games, we should, obviously welcome it in open arms. Anything that improves the game or it makes it flow better, makes it look better. Yeah, obviously we want it, and if one console can do it better than the other, then fair enough.
Yeah, and with DirectX 12, I really hope this parity in graphics really does die out, because it's gotten on many gamers' nerves. I don't know about you, but this parity between the graphics is extremely annoying.
It is. I mean, obviously we're coming back to like lead platforms. Ubisoft are a great example of wanting parity. I mean, I always used to associate. I don't know why I used to do this. But I always used to associate Ubisoft with PlayStation. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, but obviously they're one of the biggest ones wanting parity between both consoles. I would rather see if the PlayStation can manage 1080p without any problems, let them have 1080p. If the Xbox can manage better or smarter NPCs, I want smarter NPCs. I don't agree with parity. I think they should try and develop for each console the best that they can.
Yeah, I think we've always said that. To make sure that your game is reached its potential on all different platforms. Battlefield Hardline. I know C-note's got that. I've got that. Have you got Battlefield Hardline?
Hardline, no. I've got Battlefield 4, but not Hardline.
Or anyway, Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline is just ported straight from the PC, or maybe straight from the PC onto the Xbox and onto PlayStation. They haven't developed it for each different console. They simply ported it, and I think we're seeing this so often where people don't utilize the hardware or the software, whatever, in each different platform and just port it over. And what that shows is that the developers don't really care about the game on the different platforms. And going all the way back to The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red really did actually care about the different platforms. And like for the Xbox One, they built what they could do on the Xbox One. For the PlayStation, they did the best they could do, and then on the PC, and it was really nice how they did it to each different platform.
It is, and what thanks have they got? I mean, we're seeing now that with the updates, they're dropping the frame rates on the Xbox to make it more stable. I mean, obviously that will probably improve our experiences, so we will not see the frame drops as much. But it's the people who were complaining why they're having like 1080p when we're not, why are they having more frames per second when we're not. You know, they can't win. They'll try and focus on a particular console and to play the game so that console can play the best it can, and they'll just get a slap in the face saying, but this console does that, I want that as well. You know, they can't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
C-note's doing his Google effects on. Can you see that?
I see. He's a pirate now.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I've been trying to listen in and out. I actually got kicked from the server again. But man, yeah, God, I'm excited about our future in the gaming community. I've been looking at all these other kind of games that are coming out and all that good stuff. I'm sorry if I'm messing up any kind of flow y'all are having, but man, there's just so much out there that I'm excited about and that I'm ready to see come from these three companies. I don't know why I'm saying two. I heard something about them coming out with another Nintendo console pretty soon. Not sure if that's true or not, but I'm excited to see that.
What consoles do you own, Kozluk?
What consoles do I own?
Yeah.
Currently, I've got the Xbox One and PS4. I would still have my 360, but I had to sell that in order to buy my PS4. Which is a big regret of mine because my favourite franchise of all time, Mass Effect, and I've played that franchise, the trilogy, well over 20 times. Just replaying it all the time, and I miss it so much. And I'm looking into trying to get a 360 back just so I can play Mass Effect again. But,
You're a big Mass Effect fan then?
Oh yeah. It's in my opinion, it's probably the best franchise out there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, are you excited for when Mass Effect 4 comes out? I don't know when that will be out.
Well, I'm expecting to hear something at E3, but hopefully EA announce something. But there's been a few leaks, like the name of the ship's been leaked, which that escapes me the name now. Actually, the name of the ship escapes me for the time being. But the name of the ship's been leaked, and a few like maybe story plots have been leaked as well. So it's definitely in development. And well, I don't even remember from last E3. You know, the teaser trailer, like looking behind the scenes and showing you some concept art.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw what the worlds were going to look like. Looked pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, Mass Effect's 1. You could explore pretty much every planet in the game world, and there are a lot of them. And that was something that was really missing in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. So I hope they bring that back as well. You know, just that exploration, being able to like go to a planet, land on it, and explore it. I just hope they bring that back. So,
this is a question that I ask most people: is if you could choose, one game, or let's actually make it 2 games. You could only choose 2 games this November. What games would they be?
This coming holiday. I think the first one would be Tomb Raider. The reboot of Tomb Raider, I didn't really play it that much, but I'm a big Tomb Raider fan, but I didn't really play the reboot that much because it just don't feel like a Tomb Raider game to me, you know what I mean? It just didn't feel like a Tomb Raider game. But I'm a big Tomb Raider fan, so I'll probably be picking that up just to see what they do with that. A new one is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, because in London, so I would like to just explore the streets of London as my character and see what happens. And
I'm really quite excited about Assassin's Creed Syndicate because it's nice to bring it back to London, or not bring it back, but bring it to our home. What?
Well, every gamer wants to see like a game that comes like close to them, something that they can actually like associate with it. You know, for us, obviously, it's London. French have had Paris for a while, haven't they? And you know,
American Revolution.
And the Americans always seem to have like well, with GTA, even though it's only like a parody, like fictional cities, they are based on actual US cities, so they can actually go out and explore, like Liberty City, for example, in GTA, which is obviously New York, and there's Vice City, which is obviously like Miami. They get that association, but we don't really seem to get it over here in the UK.
No,
So that's
you
the game I'm
don't.
really looking forward to.
And that is me, because a lot of people say obviously your games are going to be the top games you're going to get is Halo 5 and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for me. But actually, I'm actually quite excited about the Assassin's Creed Syndicate because of bringing it to London. I mean, if it was another game set in Europe, I'd be quite disappointed.
Yeah.
But because it's in London, it's bringing that freshness to it, especially. Maybe it's not fresh to other people, but it's fresh to me.
Yeah, it's well, I'd say it's fresh to a lot of people. I mean, I don't know what everybody else is like, but I just like to explore. I mean, sometimes I can get totally lost in the game. I mean, which is a big example. Like say I'm on level 10 because I've been doing all these side quests that you only get like 20 XP for. I've been doing like hundreds of these. You're just getting 20 XP. Yeah, but it's taking hours. You know, they take hours to do sometimes, and you only get 20 XP. And because I just get lost, I just get lost in the world.
Yeah.
I just like to explore, see things, and yeah, the story's there, and I do enjoy playing the story. But I just want to explore and see things and with my own eyes, and and that's what I'm looking forward to with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Just being able to like have a look around, like their interpretation of London.
Yeah,
I
like
the
know the different districts. It will also give some other countries don't know much about the past of England, so it'd be good for them to get some understanding because we've been in Europe, in America so long. It's time to bring it back home.
No, yeah. Assassin's Creed is probably. This sort of podcast seems to be naming games I've never really played before, but Assassin's Creed is. I have touched it. I've played Unity and I've dabbled a bit in the past, but yeah, it's another game that I'm really looking forward to because it's in London, as I say, so I can explore their interpretation of the city, and I just like to explore anyway. And obviously, with it being in London, obviously I'm in the United Kingdom, so my capital. I like to explore it because obviously for that reason. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it just because I like to explore. It's simple as, I just like open worlds. I just want to explore them. Any game that comes up with an open world, I buy it because I want to explore it.
Yeah. Well, I just, you've been a great guest amongst the noise of C-note, Kozluk.
Yeah, I've tried. I've tried. I've been really nervous, but thank you for having me on. I've been really nervous. But,
And we're definitely going to have some more podcasts to come with you. That'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah, thank you very much.
And I also want to say, that Colonel Sanders has been really great as well.
I do want to ask you one question, both of you a question, because you were talking about London and all that good stuff. What historical figures, what historical things do you want to see in that Assassin's Creed?
Oh, okay. When is it meant to be set? Just beginning Industrial Revolution, so like 1800s. So, so I'd like to see. I don't know. Just traditional, like. I just hope that they really do the research and just make the city like we talk about the Witcher, like living and breathing. I just want the city that we're exploring in the in Syndicate to be pretty much an example of what London was really like back then. I don't want them to change things for the purpose of the game to make it maybe sound better. I just want them to make it as though London was like back then, and that would really interest me. That just searching that around.
Yeah, when Assassin's Creed Unity came, I did my research for the history of the Assassin's Creed, the French Revolution, before I went into the game because I was that excited, and I'll be doing exactly the same, even though I pretty much know about the industrialization of London and the different classes of people. You had the first class, you had the middle class, and then you had the total bottom class. And it'd be quite intriguing to see how this plays out in Assassin's Creed, and also that it keeps going about 100 years each time into the future. I would actually want this to be the furthest Assassin's Creed to go?
Oh,
You know. Oh, go ahead, sir.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'm actually the opposite of you. I want them to continue with the older generations. Like I want to see the history of like in my country. I would love to see well, I guess it's not my country. It was the war that they went to, the Vietnam War. I would love to see like them tie in the assassins into that somehow, or the Brotherhood and stuff like that. That would be interesting to tie into that. I would also like to see. The storyline actually come about in the future where there's assault rifles and stuff like that. That would be really interesting to
He
see
wants
how
to turn
they
it
could
into
even
Call
do
of
that.
Duty, people.
Yes, exactly. I'm a Call of Duty person. What you thinking?
Yeah. I was confused for a second. I'm sure we were talking about Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and then he started talking about Call of Duty. I'm like, I'm still talking about Assassin's Creed here with assault rifles.
It would be interesting. take a blade into a gunfight.
Yeah, exactly. You're in the wrong game. What are you doing?
I have to go back to my roots. I'm a Call of Duty player. Can you blame me?
Right.
But going back
Right,
to
it's been,
I want Call of Duty to go back to its roots. They're just too futuristic now. I mean, all these exo abilities in Call of Duty, they just don't interest me. I just want a simple first-person shooters I can just sit down and enjoy playing rather than having to think about jumping left, right, and centre to avoid bullets, or people using their exo abilities that sort of flying over my head and coming up behind me and shooting me up the arse. I don't want to be thinking about that. I just want to be pick up a gun and start shooting people. That's what Call of Duty was always about, and now they're just trying to change it up, and I think they should just stick to the roots.
Can I just put one thing in there before we go? I've heard every side of the story on Advanced Warfare. I've heard every side of the story on Ghosts, and I've been a part of Call of Duty since Call of Duty 3, whenever they actually introduced the multiplayer to the Xbox 360, and I've loved every single Call of Duty that's come out except Ghost, and it was kind of on the, it was okay. But the reason that I really like Advanced Warfare is it gives me the option. It gives me the option to be able to get out of my spawn. I have yet to actually get spawn trapped really badly because I can spawn in and I can jump to the side. And it also gives me the ability to get to those campers that were never in the past accessible. Like they would get in their spot and they could never get caught because they are just looking down one hallway. Well, now I can jump around them, come up from above, and then shoot them. And that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, no, I can't actually agree with that, to be honest. But I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to learn the game. I think that's half the battle is that a lot of people just didn't want to learn the game and what you had to do in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and I was one of them.
Because
I just want
because
Call
they
of Duty.
knew it from like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 that they like you don't want to learn an entire new game because you're so great at like the previous Call of Duties. And personally, to me, I think the movement system was to keep it Call of Duty fresh, because if they continued with the same formula against these modern shooters, I think Call of Duty would be dying out very quick. Some people say that it's dying already. I disagree because I'm very excited for the next Black Ops 3, and I still know that Corey is that C-note is listening to this and will be very upset if I said it's bad. So I feel like it's going to be really great.
Man, to be honest, everybody has their opinion on Call of Duty. Everybody, everybody's like, oh, you should play Battlefield. It's, I can go to Battlefield. I don't do as amazing, but I can hold my own. It's one of those things that Call of Duty has just been something I've played forever, and I don't get offended when people, say Call of Duty sucks. It's their opinion. It's like everybody has a butthole, but not everybody's butthole is the same.
Right. I tell you what, we're going to have to end this podcast. It has been great against the sound. But I tell you what, we've got to have another podcast again. We definitely have to have another one. There's probably going to be so much news from now until next podcast. And quick before we go, I just want to say it was great meeting you, Kozluk. And if you would like to give yourself a shout out for your YouTube.
Yeah. Hello, YouTube. Yeah, from that I say thanks for letting me onto your channel in this podcast. But yeah, please check out my channel out, Kozluk Gaming. You should. That's the name of my channel. Yeah, come and check me out. I ain't got many videos up because I've just recently deleted a load of my older content. I want to try and refresh my channel a little bit. So please try and support me in my new direction. My channel. I used to do a lot of Call of Duty videos, but I'm not really happy with the franchise at the moment, so that's why I've tried to refresh the channel. But yeah, thanks for letting me on.
But no problem, Kozluk. We loved having you, and we can't wait till you're back on again. You had some really great opinions.
Thank you. Like I say, I've been quite nervous of on this, so I might have rambled on a bit. And
No,
yeah, I've tried.
It was
No,
really
you did great, man.
Thank you.
And also,
Yeah.
you had an amazing, you had an amazing unboxing on your YouTube channel. So I want everyone to come and have a look at Kozluk's channel because he's got a really great Witcher 3 unboxing.
Thank you. That didn't render quite as well as I was hoping to. There's about a minute's worth of sound that went missing, but other than that, I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, so thank you.
Man,
Yeah.
man, if we had everything perfect on our channels, then it wouldn't put character into it.
No,
Exactly. If this podcast will be if this podcast went supremely well, it would be boring.
Yeah, and I'm completely sorry that my daughter's been a little bit active and yelling, so I'm sorry about that one.
That's all right.
that's fine.
It's these little podcasts. It's just really about gamers talking about just like whether it be 5 minutes sitting on the sofa, whatever, just talking about gaming. I think that's what It's not really about a show or bringing this to the people. It's like just gamers talking, and if you want to listen, that's really great.
Yeah, I say, I mean, video games, they're there to have fun and enjoy yourselves, relax, perhaps at the end of a hard day, so, and there's no best way to have fun than to talk with your friends while you're gaming, and that's why I enjoy being on here, because you two are obviously gamers and similar opinions, and it's been really fun.
Exactly. All right, man. Well, me personally, I have to go, but it's good to actually talk to you voice to voice. I actually hate IMing people.
Yeah. No,
All right,
then. Yeah, it's been great.
Right, so it's been an amazing podcast, and without further ado, my name is ChrisPicker62, this is Kozluk, this is C-note Gaming, and together we are just gamers. Right, see you on the next podcast.